The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Fream, and thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming, in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining Gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. It's about achievements, we'll unlock it. You can find show notes for this show, as well as previous shows, on our website, z2z.com. This is episode 118. You can contact us with questions or comments on Twitter, at Z2Z, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D, over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. Proulx, that was totally without a script because I have a brand new computer and I don't have a script. So you do 118 episodes, you end up remembering crazy intro crap like that. That is super fun. How are you doing, Proulx?
I'm good. You know, you could just store your documents in the cloud somewhere. And you'd have access
it
to
is
them.
in the cloud at my work, so that's where I saved everything, and I forgot that I don't have access to it yet at home. So that was a mistake. Actually, I don't have many of my files. Like, I feel naked. I don't have my Excel sheets with all my games and stuff, like the plan, like my RTDL plans. I don't
oh no!
I don't know. I'm aimless.
It's so funny because coincidentally, we both got a new computer this week. You got one through work, right? If memory serves correct.
Yep. And
I built a brand new rig this week.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. I used the last computer I built since 2011, I think.
Yeah.
So it's been a good chunk of time that it served me well, and it was a great computer, but it was super fun to go back in and rebuild, build a new machine. So I'm really excited about its capabilities. I haven't really played with it too much yet. I haven't tested it too much on what it can really do, but I'm well aware that it's pretty capable.
Sure, that's awesome. Do you mind sharing how much you spent on it? What is it an economical rig, or did you kind of go push the specs a little bit? What'd you do?
Well, the budget was supposed to be about $2,000, but we ended up spending, I think, $27,000.
Holy crap, man!
But it's
tax refund stuff.
Yeah, partially. Also,
how many kidneys do you still have?
So my girlfriend does a lot of video editing for what she does.
Oh, so work paid for it.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it paid for it, but it's worth it at least. So that's actually probably more of what it's going to be used for. Okay. But of course, I get to play with it as well. So it was a lot of fun. It was, and it's been I splurged on some of the non-essential things. Like, I got a pretty nice case I'm excited to look at all the time, and but we most of the money went, of course, towards the guts, and so now I can play all those ACA Neo Geo games.
What'd you end up doing for a video card? Like, they don't exist anymore. Every scooping them up for Bitcoin. And
it's so funny because we've been going through this process. I've been going through this process of putting all of the items that I want, the build that I want, essentially in the cart, and I'm ready to go, ready to buy it whenever I want. Yeah. And every time I go back, it removes the video card because it's no longer available.
Sure.
So, that wasn't. It was a slight frustration, and of course the prices have been increased. Right, they've been supply and demand. Right. Lovely supply and demand. Both the video card and the RAM have gone up significantly. It's not too terrible. Again, like I say, if you're only making this purchase once every few years, right, it's a slight inconvenience. But whatever. I just swallowed the cost, and it was fine.
Yeah, no, I bet. So, is that your win of the week? Are you feeling? That's pretty darn awesome.
I put it together last Sunday, so I guess it would be, or Monday, I can't remember. But yeah, I would say that is definitely my one of the week.
Nice. So overall, I had a pretty terrible week. And I'm not going to regale you all with just how awful because if you put things in retrospect, like I have a pretty good deal going. Like it's not, I know there's plenty of people out there who have, like, for instance, we're going to have Chin Doctor on the show tonight. And so I just messaged him real quick and I was like, hey, you interested in the show? He's like, yeah, that'd be great. He's like, I got to go pick up my mic over at my parents' house real quick, but yeah, I'll go get that. And then he sent a message like 2 minutes later. He's like, there's a Category 3 cyclone outside right now. Probably shouldn't be driving. I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. So I'm not in a cyclone. No, I'm in a perfectly fine. Actually, it's pretty nice and sunny here in Minneapolis nowadays. But let me just give you an example. So this computer, right? I was excited to get a new computer, but I thought maybe the tech, because we outsource our IT at work, would maybe let me know that he was coming to get my computer. So I had backed up most of my files, but I have like files that I use at home all the time that I save on the hard drive. And I was going to, transfer those over, and I use some sticky notes on my desktop. So that has like some game codes on there for like giveaways and stuff, or, some Game Pass codes, things. And so I was with a customer that morning, and all of a sudden I come back to my desk, and he just tore up my desk. Took my laptop up and left, put the new one down there, didn't set it up or anything, just literally plugged it into the wall and hooked up the little, whatever. And so I get in here and I log in and I call him up. I'm like, hey, so what's going on? Where'd you go? Well, I left. I'm at another site. I'm far away now. I'm like, okay, well, kind of have some personal information on that computer. Would really like to get my hands on it yet. Oh, I thought you said you backed it all up. I did back everything up, but there's a couple of files. It'd be really great. Okay. Well, I'll come in on Thursday and we'll get that squared away. No. And I never heard from him again. I'm pretty sure he just up and took it. Like, I thought maybe today. I was pretty busy yesterday with customers. I thought maybe today he would nope. Nothing. I talked to my boss. She's like, I'm having the same problems. Because like right now, if I load up, I don't have user access. Like he hasn't given me, I can't do a local domain. And so I can't download anything. I can't get iTunes. I can't get Audacity. I can't get any of that nonsense. Nor can I do any of the service updates that are, because Windows updates like every day. You get like a new little set of update patches. And so every time I log in, it's like, hey, we got to apply these updates. So log in as the admin. I'm like, I can't do it. Like, so I just gotta do, X out. It's like, oh, your security software is out. You gotta update that. I can't do anything. This is like, now the one thing I can do is I downloaded a bunch of my Windows games. And so I finally figured out how it turns out I do have, I mentioned this in chat with the Plants vs. Zombies people last night, is that I couldn't get my controller to sync up to my computer, and I was using my Play and Charge cord that I always use, and it wouldn't work. Turns out I have a bunk cord. Like it'll charge, but it doesn't send any data. So when I used the cord from the Elite controller, that synced up right away. Now I'm having issues booting things, but anyway, that worked. So I don't know why. So that again, computer issues. I still got a new computer. It's nice. It's fast. It's not broken. Great. But let me just top this. This is how kind of the week ended here. And so I was at the gym today, and Proulx, I'm going to explain an exercise to you, and it's pretty common. I'm sure you're familiar with a lunge, right?
Sure. Sure.
But I'll paint the picture just for people who may not. We're not maybe the most athletic. Like I'm pretty fit, but I'm no Elroy. So. So a lunge, obviously, you have your front leg or your working leg in front of your body, flat-footed, and then your back leg, you kind of make a triangle and stick it behind you on your toes. And the idea is then that you go down, you bend your knee like you're kneeling, except you don't actually touch the ground with your back leg, and then you come straight up. And that's working your quad on the front leg, the big top muscle of your leg. So there's a modify to that, which, it's a little more difficult, and it's called a step back lunge. And so you start from a standing position, and then you step way back, do the lunge, and step back up, right? So it's still working the quad, but it's kind of getting some stabilizers, a little bit more of an exercise in there. And so today is kickboxing day, but it's the end of the 10 weeks. And so, they want to mix it up a little bit, have a little fun Friday, it'd be great. So, my legs are a little tired from kickboxing. And so we're doing some sub-ins here, and I'm using a band, like a resistance band, and they're leg muscles. So I'm going to use a higher band color, make it, tough on me. And so you put it under your front leg and pull it up over your shoulders. So my arms are resting on my shoulders, and I'm standing on it with my working leg. So I go and I step back, and boom, down, up, and I'm pushing pretty hard, and I make it about 60% through the workout. This little 30-second burst here. I'm like, okay, I'm getting, like, my leg's getting weak. My form is going to crap. I should drop the band and just keep the exercise. And so I go to let go of the band with my arms, and I slip, and it slips from my heel and shoots up my leg and incapacitates me. I take a rubber band shot right to the pills. I am like, and this is like, it hit so hard that, like, I thought I was, like, bleeding. Like, I tried to, like, pass it off in the gym, and I, like, walked over to the side, like, very gingerly, wiping my brow with paper towels, thinking, like, I might be a eunuch right now. Like, this hurts so bad. It was unbelievable. I'm like, that is the tip of the cap to this week. Like, you know what? Here, let's just end the week on a bang. And now you weren't really worried about having kids anymore, but now you don't even have to consider it, because that's over. That ship has sailed. And because of all that nonsense, this whole week of just garbage, I haven't played any games, really. So I'm going to live vicariously through your gaming. I hope that you've done some fun things this week. So regale me with what you've been up to, what you've been playing.
Oof. End of the week nut shot, and I have to make up for that. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try, I suppose. Actually, this week has been pretty tame in the number of games I've been playing. Last week, I did most of or I think I was at least halfway through the birthday True Achievements Challenge as of last week. So I talked about a bunch of games that I had played. I finished it out, I think it was on Sunday or Monday. And so I'll just briefly mention some of the games I played for that. I got a few, or 2 or 3 of the last ones I got were from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows 360 arcade game. That game is not good.
It's not great, no.
But it had a lot of varied lettered achievements, so I used it. Quite a bit for that.
I think I only have like 3 achievements left in that game, or no, I have 4. But one of them is that epic combo where you have to do the Batman, where you have to chain 12 things together. I think there's a way to cheese it. If you look in the achievement guide, there's a way to cheese it in the dojo, but I just can't. Like, if I had just recently played Batman, I probably could do it, but like, I just chaining all that crap together, because it doesn't play like Batman. The controls are not that responsive.
Yeah. It wishes it was Batman, but it doesn't play as smooth and well designed as Batman. So you're going to have more frustration than anything.
And I think what gets me to the most is, like, the bad guys are cheap.
Oh yeah,
like. They're like countering when they, because they do give you a notification, but like the countering doesn't work. It maybe works like 30% of the time. And other than that, they're just cheap. They'll spam attacks and you can't get anything. It's totally super frustrating.
I remember being really excited for that game, and then it came out and we all played it through. I think we beat it through in one night, and it was like, wow, this is not what I was hoping for. So maybe someday we'll get a really awesome TMNT game, but it wasn't that time in 2013 or whenever it came out. So anyways, I probably won't come back to that unless it reappears on my run to-do list or some other sort of thing. So other than that, I played some, again, just random stuff. Whatever had an easy achievement in the letter I was going for. Guardian Heroes I played. Sure. Halo Spartan Assault. I played some Jackbox. There's a bunch of E's in Earwax that I didn't have. I think it's called Earwax. Right. So, and those are fairly easy to just go for if you want to get them. Some South Park, and I think that TMNT was what led me out of that challenge. The last 2 or 3 of the achievements that I needed for it were all from that game, and I got them from 100 kills with each of their weapons. So they're like, happy birthday.
Oh yeah,
happy birthday true achievements. I'm trying to remember now. The last S was for like Sai Anara for getting 100 kills with Raphael.
Right.
And the one before that was for getting 100 kills with Leonardo for whatever the pun was that they came out with the achievement.
Sure.
So yeah, so I got that done and I was very excited. And in fact, today got my free month of TA Pro. So that was nice.
Nice.
And don't listen to Koosh, who will tell you it's a free year, but it's not. It's just a free.
Oh, he got a year.
Yes, he definitely did. It's a free month. So that was what I did for that challenge. That was my kind of beginning of the week variety fun.
Sorry. You know what's funny? I saw in my friend feed that Planting got a month free, but he works for the site like I do, so we get free Pro.
Yeah,
anyway.
well, I already have Pro too, and it listed my name as well. Yeah. So I think I
saw yours. It's weird.
Glitch, or some way just for them to kind of, hey, TA Pro's the thing. Everybody check it out. That sort of thing.
I mean, it's cool. Like I really appreciate it's what, $15 a year, or I don't know, maybe it went up, but like that's pretty inexpensive for how much I use that site and to not have ads and to get unlimited scans. Like I get my use out of it
for sure. Like there may be 1 or 2 other sites that I'm on more, maybe like Reddit or something like that, but
Pornhub
barely. And even then, yeah, it's totally worth the value that you're getting out of it. So I have no problem supporting TA. Absolutely not at all. So other than that, I played some of the standard stuff that we talk about every week, so I'm not going to really go too far into it. Did some Borderlands, played some Master Chief Collection. So it's interesting. I talked about this before about how there's this kind of split that happens because there's never the same group every week. So we kind of have to scramble. Well, we have 2 distinct groups that are working on separate things right now, and both of them had missing people. So we were kind of in a weird, odd 5-person group situation. So how do you do that? There's no single player stuff you can do in Master Chief Collection. So we just we went for it and we just started doing some multiplayer stuff. And there's a lot of stuff you can get done in custom games. And I think it was a fairly successful session. It was only about an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours at the most, but we got a lot of stuff done and it went really well, I think. So, we'll see how that goes further on, but for at least for this week went well. Got some DJ Hero done, which I have in random to-do list, and I got to finish that out.
You rebought that hardware, right?
Oh, I've had DJ Hero for a long time.
Okay. Well, I thought you said it was like busted, so you had to buy a new one. Not the case?
I bought a second one because it was only $11, I think it was, and I needed a local multiplayer achievement. So you had to have 2 turntables.
Sure.
So, but you can't get the online achievements with that, obviously. So it's actually me and Saucy Slingo who are kind of working on that. But like that's a super easy boost. That the most you need to win is 10 games. But we didn't have the chance to do all that. So we'll get that later. But got some achievements in that. Other than that, 2 things. 2 more games. I actually joked, but I actually did play an ACA Neo Geo game on my brand new Windows system. I played World Heroes, and I can say and comment that it actually does play smoother on Windows than it does on the One. So take that for what it's worth. It's not amazing or anything, but it doesn't feel like it's going to lock up every time you get an achievement. It doesn't feel like the game, for some reason, the system is struggling to keep up with this terrible 25-year-old game. But so I got that done, obviously, pretty quickly. And the last game, the game that I've spent the most playing this week is Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, which was Games with Gold, I think last month or possibly the month before.
Yeah, a few months ago.
I have a love / frustration relationship with Lego games. I'm right in the peak of frustration of this game. I beat the story. I'm kind of now facing the hump of now I have to get all the collectibles. I have to go back and replay the game, and like it's the low point of I literally beat it tonight. I beat the story mode tonight, and it's the low point of the Lego.
Yeah,
curvature.
Cleanup is not fun.
No, it's not. Especially
because it's like the first thing you always need to do is like go nuts on get studs so you can get those red bricks.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right, and it's like that's like the worst part.
Yep.
Because you can't even do anything fun.
Yeah.
Like you're just mining studs.
And Lego games are so backloaded, and I forget about it sometimes. But I've played 10, 12 hours of this game now, and I have maybe 200 points. And it's like, ugh. And now I have to replay all the same levels to get all this stuff. And like you said, you got to get all the red bricks and all this. There's a very predictable curve of enjoyment for Lego games. You play the first few levels, you're having a good time. About halfway through the story mode, you're like, okay, come on, let's get on with it. You finally beat the story mode, and then you hit an uphill, straight 90-degree uphill, like, ugh, I'm going to have to deal with this for the next 6 hours of my life. I just have to grind this stuff out. Yeah. And that's where I am now. And this is why I pace myself with Lego games. I only want to do one every few months, because I don't know how people can do more than that. I do like them, but that frustration is always there. So that's what I've been working on, and I'm probably going to spend the rest of the weekend working on it, and hopefully in some reasonable amount of time I can get it done and then put Lego games to bed for at least until the summertime or something like that. So
it's like me and Telltale games, where it's like, all right, it's going to take you 2 hours, and you're guaranteed this little section of achievements, but there's going to be 5 of these, so you got to spend 10 hours at some point. And it's like, 10 hours, that's too much for only 1,000 Gs. Like, I want to play other games during the week. And it's like, if I could set up like a system, I was trying to think about it in my head. It's like, boy, should I pick one night a week to be like, this will be my Telltale night. Let's just, every week we'll just play through a story. And then throughout the year, I'll get, however many done, 10 of them done. Like that'd be the way to do it. Yeah. And it's like watching TV, like an episode kind of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway. Cool. Well, I did play some games this week. I shouldn't say I didn't play anything, but it's my normal things. I just get a lot of achievements. I actually was narrowly, and that's the other thing. I don't have my script for the contest thing, so there's no contest roundup stuff this week. I wrote everybody down who was nearly eliminated or eliminated. I was right there. I was so close. I was going into the last hour. I had 370 TA before elimination, and I'm like, all right, cross my fingers, I make it for the next hour. Otherwise, I'd go down with bonuses. I actually ended up using bonuses for our team because Kahuna was busy doing other things, and so I just couldn't keep us afloat. And I was like, I'm not saving these things. Like, what's one more week? We might as well burn them. But I did play, of course, Happy Wars. With the imminent closure here, and I'm realistically, look, I think the 360 version, I'm going to get one more achievement in. I'm just not going to be able to get to level 50 by April. I'm not going to be able to get 10,000 heals by April. Like, that's just not going to happen. I can get the 1,000 mage kills and close that out because they do some pretty. On the weekends, they have these horde mode. It's like kind of protect against these waves of enemies. And you can, they start off really weak. And so because there's not a ton of people on there, you can actually just go ripping through. And, I'm getting like 30 to 40 kills a game. And so, to get 1,000, like that's not going to take too long. And plus I have a pretty decent start on that. I actually, because things transfer over, I was playing through trying to just do the best I can. And I ended up getting 5 achievements in the 1 version of the game just because they still connect, right? So you can play on the 1, and then when you go reload on the 360, it'll transfer your data over, and then you play 1 game and anything that you happen to unlock. So if I unlock the kill 1,000 dudes with my mage in here, then that'll count toward the 360 version until April 15th, I think we said. At that point, then they're severed and they're all on their own. So working on the one version at least gets me these, the medals and things, and it's nicer. There's more people. It's a little easier to play. It looks nicer. I don't have to use a 360 controller anyway. But I went. It's fun because so I've got the achievement tracker up, and I was just messing around. I'm like, I need to get 100 quick matches. Like, that's a lot. Well, I guess I might as well. There's an achievement for killing 1,000 enemies in a quick match and getting 100 victories in quick match. I'm like, oh man, and those didn't track over either. That sucks. So I played one. Well, it turns out you have to play a game in quick match to completion, and then it'll load all your stats. And so all of a sudden I went from 0 enemies killed to 700 enemies killed. I'm like, woohoo! All right, 70% done.
That's a big
great.
Jump.
Yeah, so I had done that. I'd played enough quick match to get 700 kills on the 360, and I only won 37 games, which makes sense because a lot of the time I spent inside castles just boosting the group things, because that's one that didn't transfer over. There's one where you have 500 people join your team skills. It's like, I know I've done that because that's how you grind out XP the most efficiently. And it didn't happen. Anyway, so Happy Wars. Played a bunch of Happy Wars. And then I moved over because it's birthday challenge time, right? So I knew there was one. That was just messing around. So I went for my A. And I played some Defense Grid 2. So when you start up Defense Grid 2, you can play the tutorial level and unlock 11 achievements right away. Like in 3 minutes of work, you can unlock 11 achievements. And one of them happened to be, I had to do it very gingerly because one of them was the A I wanted, but there was a Y. I was like, oh crap, okay. I need to save that Y because the Ys are really hard to get. So I'll get the A. And then this was on Sunday. So guess what? Sunday, Manual Samuel time. And we'll talk about Manual Samuel in a little bit, but I played cleanup. It was cleanup time in Manual Samuel. Got 9 achievements. I think I only have 6 left in that game. And so I went through, did all the loose end things. Of course, I got the letter P for not staining myself in the toilet mini game.
Oh yeah, me too. Yep.
That was not easy. Turns out you got to feather those bumpers pretty significantly.
Yes,
anyway,
do not hold down the bumpers.
No, tap,
just
tap.
them.
So anyway, played some Manual Samuel, and then just a quick one in Magic the Gathering 2015. That's just those easy, set up build a deck that you can't lose with, and then your opponent's deck, make it a blue deck, but give them only planes, right? So they have tons of mana and they can't use it. And so you're just guaranteed to win. And then I went back to Defense Grid and got my Y. That's the word happy, so let's start with the B. Well, I had some help on Monday night from my Diablo friends, and I completed the game Rocket League.
Yay!
I'm all done.
All right.
I was traded a painted item from Koosh, and so I got that one. That was my B. And then I was like, oh, come on. I need a very rare item. It's like, you know what? And I asked around, and no one had one. I was like, you know what? I've got 4 crates sitting here. I'm just going to spend $5, get some keys, and just see if I can get some cool duds. And sure enough, I got a very rare, dust trail or whatever you want to call it. What is that? The boost trail?
Yeah.
So I got one of those, played the game, and bam, game completion, Rocket League. So that's great. I'm excited to be done with that. Do you think they're going to come out with more achievements for that at some point?
I do think so. They've been pretty consistent about how they've been supporting that game, and although it's been a little while, I think the fall...
I want to say it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, I think the fall update was the last update that had achievements, or the drop shot achievement, which was either summer or fall.
That's right.
So it's not been too long, but...
It's long enough.
I don't know.
It's probably they'll probably do the continued anniversaries would be my guess.
And the thing is too that I don't expect Rocket League 2 anytime soon.
No.
So I would imagine that they'll just continue to support this game. So
right.
And which I love. They do achievements really well. If you're not looking for a crazy challenge, but they make them fun and enjoyable. And if you really want to go for them, you can. So,
for sure.
But there are also easy ways to get them. So I like Rocket League achievements, and I want more of them because that just gives me more of an excuse to play the game. So.
Right. So Diablo Knight, just started up on my second character, got my first one to 70, so up to character 2, nothing special there. Played some Zombie Vikings. I had an RTDLer on there for barfing on a boss. That was fun. And then and so I got that out of the way. I don't want to admit this. I think Koosh told me not to say this, but we played some Battleborn on Wednesday night, and it was embarrassing. We got the crap beat out of us. It was not good. I don't think really anyone made any progress. It was really bad because we played some story modes and just got wrecked. But Koosh looked into it. We got a better plan for next week. And then Plants for Zombies. We just played some garden ops and random crap. And so I got what? I mean, during the week, I got 4 achievements. That's not good. That's not good. I keep thinking okay, my next game, I've got 3 random to-do list items on Don't Knock Twice, which is like a 2-hour completion. And so that's that's my plan. I got to do that because then in there, if you follow the guide, I'm on R. There's an RTH, like consecutive achievements right in a row. It's like I can finish the word birth and get 3 RTDLs. That'll be fantastic. I can't find any time to play. I can't get on my Xbox. It's annoying. So anyway, hopefully we can turn that around this week. But it's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, so I'll be feeling pretty good about myself.
Are you gonna go? You gonna go party?
Well, we have it's our 10-week party. So we'll go out for a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna get silly or not, but. Yeah, we got a busy day. Hey, you know what I was doing today that was kind of fun? I was watching some Darwin Project on Mixer. So that was that Shoutcast game that we were all joking about.
Yep.
It was kind of cool watching it on Mixer. So it was through the Mixer channel, like the Mix. They have that show on there or whatever, and so they said, hey, look, LFG for this game. Come on in. Here's the room code. And so it's like the main Mixer guy, he's hosting the game. So I believe in the game you're going to have host controls. Now the art style is very reminiscent to me like Fortnite, right? It's that cartoony. And it's set in Canada, I think, in the winter. So there's snow everywhere, and you've got these 6 hexagonal zones forming a ring. It almost looks like the flower in Grand Pearl Poobah, right? So you got the center hexagonal zone with 6 hexagons surrounding it, and the host then he has kind of he can control the camera. He can follow anyone he wants by clicking on his keyboard. You go to player 1 through 8 or however many people signed up. He can look at the global map, and at the bottom he's got these action points that are on there, and so as the game progresses, the action point meter starts to fill up, and then he can use those action points to influence the game however he wants. So the people are playing their game normally, and it plays like Fortnite. You take that, it's kind of melee heavy, but you take that axe, you break down some equipment, you get some gear, you can warm up your body, like body heat loss is kind of a thing in this one. And you can fashion weapons, get some bow and arrow, stuff like that. And then when this controller, he can follow anyone he wants and then use his items. So at one point he had enough action points. He's like, okay, I'm closing down this zone. Boom. And so the timer goes off and people get to vote on whether that happens. But she's like, that zone's closing down. Better get out of it. And then he dropped a nuclear bomb in the middle zone. At one point, it's like, hey, you got 20 seconds. Get out of the middle zone because it's going to explode. It didn't render it useless, but it's like, this is getting destroyed. That was kind of fun. But then there's like parts where he could like heal people. So it's like if you spent 6 action points or whatever, you have a 10 bar. If you spent, maybe it was only 3, but you can heal the dude for like 300 hit points. And it's like, so if you're like a buddy, it's like, I don't know. That seemed a little, you could shift it however you wanted, but.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. This is like a feature of the game.
Yeah.
And there's a person that now has control over the battlefield, essentially.
Yeah. So
over other players as well.
Well, he can't control other players. So he's a spectator. Well, but yes, he can influence the game. Yes.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah. it's a cool idea, but I don't know how you control it not to. Oh, this is my friend who I'm just going to put in this position. You know what I mean? Like, how does that work?
I don't know how that works, because ultimately then you just wouldn't play in that dude's lobby, and I could see how it'd be, where it's like, okay, because there's another one where one of them was called Manhunt. And I'm pretty sure he didn't use it, but I'm pretty sure what happens is that dude is like highlighted so everyone can see him and everyone goes against this person. And that costs like six action points out of the 10. And it builds pretty slow. So you can't like spam this stuff, but like you can use it fast enough.
Okay, man, this is actually kind of blowing my mind. I had no idea this game was like this. So there's somebody who is like a game master.
Total game master.
And he can, I don't know how it would work, or maybe you could tell me, like he enters his own sort of searching for lobby, doesn't get matched up with any of his friends. He just finds a bunch of strangers, and he then can control sort of the situation that they're in.
Kind of. I mean, I would say it's more like if you're setting up a Jackbox party game, right? Like so you host this lobby, and you're like, okay, hey, here's my room code. So when you're in the multiplayer area, here, type in my room code, and then you can join up. And so, but I'm hosting it, so that's the thing. And and then he pretty much can just do whatever he wants, within reason, because he has to wait for this action points thing to go. But like he can do this bird's eye view, and I didn't have the sound on, but like there was people in every quadrant, like they were all over the place. And he kind of saw one of them, and it was like there was like a dude who, because he zoomed in on his camera, and he was like hunkered down. I mean, this guy had like it was serious defenses up, tucked in the corner, and so the guy was like, "Well, I'm just gonna close down this side," and he just like shut down that quadrant, and he's like, "Well, that quadrant's done, so you can't be here."
It's actually a super cool idea
to like move the action around.
Yeah, and well, I mean, and we've talked to, and even when this came out during E3, we talked about how it's this battle royale / Hunger Games sort of situation. But I think a lot of times you don't consider gamifying that position, the person who is actually, like I say, game mastering whatever that is. If they incorporate into like the core game, I imagine it would be very tough to balance. But if they do it properly, that could be a really interesting and unique element in that game. Like even you could see them doing this sort of thing with other games too, like with Fortnite. Where it's not just the computer that decides where the zone goes; it's somebody who's actually actively watching the action. And that's kind of a really neat concept. And they could drop interesting weapons into boring zones, or that's really cool. The way you describe it is probably, like, in my mind, is like going all sorts of crazy directions, but so it's probably a little more tame than what I'm thinking, but it's still a really, really neat idea for a game.
And I didn't realize that this was like, that's how this worked at the beginning. Like, so, I mean, it was interesting to see, because I had this complete misconception about what this game was. And to now like have kind of this concept of like, in my mind, it's like almost, I feel like this is how Fable Legends was supposed to work, except you had the four heroes against a game master. But, I don't know if what the tool set would be. But it's like, yes, you can control how it flows, and people have to react to it. So let me give you an example of what I saw in the game here that was kind of interesting. So the guy, it was getting down to the last two people, and they were kind of dodging around, and one guy was low on ammo, and it looked like he needed maybe just a little bit of extra time to get something happening. And so the guy, one of the guys chasing this kind of wounded guy was closing in with his melee weapon. And he immediately turned on invincibility for both people. And so they have this like protective shield bubble that goes around them. And when they hit, it was like it rocketed him into like it was like two billiard balls colliding and just flying backwards. I mean, and they both launched into like super far apart into other quadrants. And what, like, so one side of it was like, well, that's kind of annoying because, the game should have been over. But and then the other side, it's like, well, now you have to react to how the game master is kind of messing with you, and you got to be on your toes. Another thing that they ended up doing was there's these they're essentially pinball bouncers. So like when you hit the pinball up and there's usually all those three circles and then it goes ding 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 ding, right? Like when Sonic the Hedgehog bounces off of them. So they had those, and so what you do, they're kind of all over the place. They're strategically placed. There's like one in each zone or two in each zone. But if you take your melee weapon and smash into it, it will launch you into the next quadrant. I mean, like 200 some feet. I mean, like you fly. It's like hitting a booster. And so like it's a quick way to escape. You run up to that thing and you melee it and you just launch. And it was like a super cool way for this dude to like escape escape the bad guy that was chasing him. And so he could try and recoup, and the action was actually pretty darn fast. Anyway, I watched one game and it was super interesting. So I'm actually going to give it. I might actually give this a shot. I was surprised, and so anyway, open beta or not open beta, closed beta right now, but it exists.
No, it sounds super interesting, and maybe we were harsh on it when we talked about it during the E3 show, where we were, they had the shoutcaster,
which seemed just weird because they didn't lead it in with anything,
right? And maybe it was just terrible marketing. And whereas the shoutcaster wasn't supposed to be this annoying shoutcaster, he was just actually supposed to be explaining the action and what his next actions would be. But I don't know. I'm definitely interested because if it is what I can kind of already start to conceptualize in my head, there's a very fine line, it seems, where it could be easily abused and it may not work for everybody, but there could be a sliver of the population that this would be super awesome for, and even like watching on Twitch and stuff like that. That would be a lot of fun if you get somebody talented at game mastering. And you know what I mean, and commenting and knowing when to do certain actions. And it looked like there was
some type of like integration with the stream, like you could, and I don't know, like if they could influence what had happened or anything, but like I saw like people were commenting, or they could like sway the judge, as it were. Like, hey,
sure.
Nuke that guy or do this or do whatever, and people would be totally on board with that. Like, yeah, that's a good idea. We should root him out, or whatever they were saying. Anyway,
that'd be cool.
So that was interesting. Like I said, I don't have a game mashup, so let's just talk about things. I wanted to talk about Manuel Samuel. Now, I know we don't have Chin Doctor to talk about why he possibly recommended this game. Maybe just to be annoying, but how?
He's not here to defend himself, so we can
do it. How far have you gotten into it now? What have you done so far?
So I've beaten the game and gone back and done a little bit of cleanup. I still have to do the co-op playthrough and the time trials, and honestly, I'm dreading it. I do not want to do that. I feel like I've gotten the experience that the game has for me out of it. Now, time trials, it depends on how difficult they are. I don't know. I haven't even started. I can kind of see how maybe if you're that kind of person, it could be interesting. But to me, it's like the game is already designed to be frustrating and irritating. I have no desire. I am not looking forward to going back to it at all. I enjoyed the initial experience overall.
Yeah.
I think it was good for a one playthrough type of game. I do not want to play it through 2 more times. I really don't.
Now, do you have to play it straight through? I know you have to start a new save, right? To do the co-op run. Like, you can't just cherry pick the levels or anything.
It is a new save, yeah. And also because people like to encourage you not to use a guide the first time through, you have to the second time through. So either you do have to have 2 separate saves, 1 co-op, 1 single player.
Right.
So, and I already also have to I just kind of went through the game the first time, so I didn't get any of the quote unquote collectibles for the game. So I have to do that as well.
Yep. Those hashtags.
The hashtags, yeah. So
I'm missing 2 hashtags. One, both at the end. Like I failed to destroy all the buildings in the robot level, and I didn't wait during the Satan battle at the end. And those are the last 2 hashtags I need.
I didn't know that are you supposed to wait at the end? Is there you get something special for it or something?
So we'll open it up. Since we're talking about the game, there'll be spoilers. There's not a lot to spoil here, but there will be some semblance of spoilers. There's a lot of those. There's a couple of instances, because there was one I even mentioned on stream where Death is like, "Hey, why don't you accidentally killed this guy? Can you give me your last shard of life, so that I can get him back to life, so I don't get in big trouble?" And he said, "Here, blink twice for yes." And like, you just stand there and stare at him. And so I'm like, and the camera's zooming in. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Like, screw that. Like, I'll just wait. I didn't realize that like you could effectively not die, so like if you didn't breathe and you passed out, like I thought your game would be over. So I made sure to do a lot of breathing, to do a lot of blinking when I had a downtime, instead of just like letting it go. And so I was like, okay, I can't wait anymore. I'm just going to blink and let's get out of here. Well, if you wait long enough, you get the hashtag no deal for that. And that's one of the hashtags. Okay. But then eventually, of course, you have to blink, and then the game progresses. So there's stuff like that. Like, and I missed on my first time through eating the food because on the table. So I had walked through. I saw the L bump pop up to use your arm, and I was like, "Oh, I got to interact with this." But then I took one step too far, and when I tried to turn around, it like wasn't working. It like the hitbox for that little spot,
it's super slim,
was so small, and I was like, "Man." So I missed that, and so I was like, "Oh, I'll get that on another playthrough. That's not a big deal." I think I ended up getting 19 of the 29 on my first playthrough, because a lot of them are story based. I think there's not a ton that you actually have to go out of your way for, and others are just like, I was just goofing around when I went past that robot and got a drink of water. I was like, "Oh wow, some water. Let's see if I can do the mini game here."
Oh yeah,
and like if you drink water when you're not supposed to, it's like, hey, why not? Hashtag why not? Cool. All right. Great. I did that. The game. Okay. So I'm going to talk about what the game does well. It, while immensely frustrating, the fact that you can get into a rhythm and the game realizes that and changes it on you.
It never lets you get comfortable for long.
You never get comfortable. Yeah. If you're just like, all right, left, right, here we go, back. Oh, come on, stand up. And then you stand up and you're like, okay, right. No, now you're doing the butt scoot on the ground. You can't walk correctly. What the, so that's very clever. It's creative. Like I said, immensely frustrating. I was shocked, so kind of each level presents a different, kind of way to approach it, which I was surprised. After playing the first level, I'm like, okay, so that's how this game's going to be. We're going to be doing silly tasks, walking by ourselves, using our hands by ourselves. Like, I can't see what kind of gameplay they're going to continue to change up. But I think they did a pretty good job. Like, I hated the car part, but like, I got it. Like, I understood that in and of itself is its own mini game, as it were.
Yes, the car part is terribly frustrating to me.
It's excessively long.
It's way too long. There are 3 major parts to the game. I suppose 4. So the beginning would be the tutorial. All the part in your house is the tutorial. When you get to the car, that's the first real challenge.
Yep.
Then when you're in the mech, that's the second real challenge.
Yep.
And then when you're fighting the devil, that's the third real challenge.
Right.
So there are bits in between, but those are kind of basically ramping you up to each of those sections. And they work, But like you say, there are elements that are just terribly, terribly frustrating. Like the car section lasts way, way, way too long.
So long.
And it's actually kind of, in a way, it's the most complicated task that you're given in the game.
Yeah.
As far as actually like the dexterity that you need in order to do what you're doing. And then the robot part was fine. And then the final boss was just an exercise in, oh God, I need to remember every single little tell and every single little thing, plus the fact that I need to breathe and blink and blah, 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 blah.
That was super frustrating.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. It just, to me, it was effective and it just barely didn't overstay its welcome.
Right. It's that fine line.
Yeah. It was
like,
right
you're skating on thin ice here, Sammy.
Yeah. If there was another section after the devil where I had something even more frustrating to do, I would dislike this game. At this point, I enjoyed the game, the playthrough that I had.
Yeah.
But still do not. That would have been enough for me.
Right.
If I had gotten all 1,000 achievement points, if I got like a 200 pointer for beating that devil, and I didn't have to go back for any reason, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect game for me.
I have not played the time trials. So the 2 weeks I have played on stream, you can catch both of them on our YouTube. YouTube.com/ZZ. Both of them are there. So the first one, just straight playthrough. And it was nice because it only took me, 90 minutes, 100 minutes to play through the story. And so, I was happy about that. That's a short little kind of bite-sized game. You got the whole experience. Like you said, it was a good, nice little playthrough, nothing crazy. Second time, I got, decent amount of achievements, felt good about that. I am really dreading the time trials, and like we said, and it's not. I mean, they're snippets of the actual game. Like, you don't have to sit through all the exposition. You don't have, obviously you can skip the cutscenes and stuff. But I am really not looking forward to doing that when it's intended to. And I looked at the guide for it. Some of those times are razor thin that you have to complete those. You can maybe make one or two mistakes and that's it. And that really kind of scares me because I make a lot of mistakes. That's inherent to that game. I mean, you're supposed to make a lot of mistakes. It's not easy. But yeah, so I have those achievements left. So that's 3 achievements for bronzing, golding, silvering those. And then I have, the hashtags and the co-op run left, which, great. It'll be nice to get the completion on that. What are you going for the completion? Is that the plan? Where do you stand?
I want to.
Yeah.
The fact that it's game of the month really, really nags on me. It really gets in my brain, and it's there are people completing this in the community. Do it. You have to do it. They can do it. You can do it. I've played for 2 hours and 45 minutes, according to TA, and I have 520 of the achievements, which is 17 out of the 28.
Yeah.
I think once I get this Lego thing done, I'm really going to focus on it until the end of the month and hope I can get it done. If I don't get it done by the end of the month, I can almost guarantee you I'm just going to drop it and leave it behind.
That's kind of where I'm at too, where it's I got 2 Sundays left before, this month is over, 2 more streams. And it's boy, if I don't get these 2 streams, because I guess one will be a co-op run, a co-op stream, and the other will be the time trial stream. And if it doesn't happen, I don't know. It would have to be a random to-do list, I guess.
Exactly. That's the only other time that it would come up. And the other thing too is Sea of Thieves is on Tuesday, so it's gonna be tough.
Are you going to dip your toe into Sea of Thieves before?
So I've asked around the community about this because it's obviously game of the month next month, and I said, I've asked some people, are you going to wait? Are you going to wait till April? And it seems pretty widespread that nobody's going to wait.
I'm not going to wait.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
But
no,
I don't think I don't think I'm realistically I'm not gonna play a ton. I'm thinking it's gonna be I'm just get a taste of it. Maybe a night, maybe 2 to 3 hours, just to kind of get my bearings. And I did not mean that in a C-worthy term, like. But
Fream, I don't know if you're aware of this. But I think as of yesterday, the achievement list was released.
I saw it. I didn't actually look at I saw that it was released. I didn't look at the individual achievements. I hear that it's a little cryptic.
So here's the thing. I've got the list pulled up now, and they have it organized into categories. Gameplay achievements, legend achievements, trading company achievements, commendation achievements, and I think that's it. Yeah. The problem is that the description of the achievement doesn't really tell you what's going on, and often rhymes, so it's not super helpful to say. For example, the first one that's listed here is, now bring me that horizon, and the description is, with the capstan raised and the sails unfurled, now bring me that horizon, a pirate yelled. That didn't rhyme, but whatever that means. So presumably something to do with sails, but it's not like kill 10 enemies or get to checkpoint 2.
Yeah.
It's
to me that sounds like open your sails to full bore and go for straight forward as fast as you can. It'd be awesome if it was that easy.
It would be awesome if that was that easy, but it's also, that one's pretty simple, but there's a lot that are more ambiguous where you're kind of, I have to do a thing, but I'm not sure. Here we go. This is actually pretty descriptive, so you know what you have to do. Laden with treasure. If you are of chests aplenty, this achievement unlocks at 20. Clearly 20 chests. But there's some that are a little more not so clear cut. But I'm planning on jumping in right away. I don't think it's going to be a big deal because I think there's a lot for this game.
I think so too. And I'm really excited for it. I think that's a good, I mean, say what you will about me personally picking that as game of the month. Now I will say Beer Me did have a little bit of, voice in my ear suggesting it, but so credit him as well. But I'm actually really excited. That's like the first time I've been really excited about a game State of Decay 2, I'm very excited for, but like that doesn't surprise me that I'm excited for it. But having played these betas and stuff, it's like I'm not. When I was playing the beta, I was like, yeah, okay, I might get into this. But the fact that like we're doing this as a community, I think is what really is getting me going. Like I'm gonna have people who are also excited to play. Like there's gonna be 4 of us on a boat on a stream, for the Z2Z community playing on a Sunday night. Like I'm really pumped for that. It sounds like it's gonna be a really fun time.
Yeah, I'm super excited. The game does look good. It looks just fun. I know you've had a little bit of experience with it, Fream, but it just looks like some fun.
It's funny because when I first played the technical alpha way back in the day, and of course I couldn't talk about it, but I talked about it a little bit, but it like the graphics were like, yeah, okay, that's fine, nothing special here. But then the fall one here, most recently when they took the Forza water, it blew me away. I'm like, this is amazing. This water is so good, because it looked like garbage crayon water before, and now it is like outstanding. There was actually some talk. I actually had was in I was swimming in the water because I said I'm going to dip my toe in, and I think Fug said, well, shark's going to bite your foot. I said, actually, I got into a fight with a shark during one play test, and I started, and that didn't end well for me. I visited that Dead Man Ferry's boat. Have you played it at all? Have you had any experience?
I have had zero experience. In fact, I've been kind of very limited in my even my like exposure to trailers and stuff like that. So I'm kind of just going into it blind, but I'm
radio
excited.
silence.
I'm really excited about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. not intentionally, because I don't mind just jumping into it. I'm actually really curious. I asked this question in the Discord, I think a week ago. I said, who else? I didn't even say who else. I said, who is planning on buying Sea of Thieves physically? And nobody said that. Nobody said that they were. Maybe somebody will, but nobody said they were. I'm going to get the disc. I'm going to go get the disc. I'm excited about it. And there's no, I looked it up. There's no collector's edition that I saw. So, but I am, of course you can get it on Games Pass for $10, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the game. I'm going to get the disc. I cannot wait. I'm going to go into a store and buy it and have it. I'm really excited about this game. I don't even know why. I'm just really excited about it.
All right. Well, let's move on to some other news. So that was our April game of the month. Close out on Manuel Samuel for the March game of the month. There's 2 more streams for me on Sunday nights. Obviously, when this comes out, you'll have missed the third one. Again, YouTube, you can check them out. We got a code to give away from the developer. The developer's really excited that we picked this game for game of the month. They're like, hey, wow, that's awesome. So, we'll have to let them know, how much fun we had with it, as well as, what our community ended up doing. Because we look back at the Teslagrad numbers, and, it wasn't huge, but we made a dent. We moved the numbers. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious what Manuel Sam. Now, this just came out on sale, so, that there's probably a lot of other people who are taking advantage. But we'll have to come up with a way to give away this code for Manuel Samuel for those of you who did not participate this month. So keep an eye out on. I'm sure we will have figured something out by the time this comes out. But if you're interested in our codes, it likely you should be with us on Discord. discord.io/Z2Z, or following our Twitter account at Z2Z, ZEDTOZED. Those are probably the best ways, certainly, to find out about how we're going to be giving stuff away, as well as listening to the show, of course, which we greatly appreciate. Hey, I was reading this Engadget article here. Have you seen this little Microsoft controller thing that they came up with? So this is part of their Design Labs thing, but Microsoft is trying to develop this this new controller for VR or AR that it's trying to give you a better simulation of what tactile sensation is. So I'm trying to find what the name of this thing is here. It's called the Claw. I don't know if that's actually the name, but that's what they're calling it, is the Claw. It looks like the handle of a gun or like a flight stick. So you put your hand around the flight stick. You have like a grip, and there's a button on where your thumb would be, and you can kind of curl around, put your finger into what ostensibly is a trigger, and that trigger is connected with your finger, almost like if you're ever in a hospital setting and you had a CO2 monitor just kind of clipped on your finger there. It's kind of similar to that, but the sensors in that will realize when you're pulling it as a trigger or when you are, touching something. And so it's got reverse servos in it so that if you use like a pinching motion to grab something, it will resist your hand on the way back. And so you can actually get the sensation of holding or squeezing or pinching items. And so like to watch the video, there's like a table of things with different, what I assume are different tactile feeling. But like there's like, they look like blocks, but it says soft objects. And the person manipulating them is squeezing them like they're little Jello cubes. And then, there's a gun. Obviously the hand, the claw shape, it looks like a gun. And pulling the trigger is like shooting bullets out and stuff. And just watching them manipulate and getting a feeling, because giving your finger resistance, I think, is the key to kind of tricking the brain, really, as what exactly you're manipulating here. This thing looks amazing, and I don't know if it's perfect, if it's going to be enough to propel this to what stratosphere or whatever you want to consider that. But in terms of kind of innovation on, new haptic controllers, it's kind of cool. You watch this video at all, Proulx? I highly recommend you do at some point.
Yeah, no, I watched the video. It's interesting because to me, it's always like, how do you make this stuff as seamless as possible? And the controller works for what it's doing, but if you could fit this in the size of a glove, and you could make this the Nintendo Power Glove, there you go. It would work much better. But I know I'm kind of projecting here, but it's fine. But it's limited use. You know what I mean? It's tough when you're. Yeah, it's cool if you're picking up a Jello cube and you want to have that haptic force, the feedback there. But it's I think a stepping stone towards something.
Yeah,
bigger,
I mean, it does look pretty big and clunky. Like, I'm not sure it's going to win any ergonomic awards. Not quite yet. But how about avatars? Do you like avatars?
I'm okay with avatars.
Yeah. We're getting them back.
Now, so
I mean,
yeah,
like I think they're fine. Like it was entertaining at times to have your avatar in games, right? Like those Connect enabled games, or what was that Home Run Stars, the baseball one? Like that was kind of cool, but they just, where are they now? Like even I don't know where you can even find them. So how am I going to enjoy other people's avatars if they're not? I mean, they're largely ignored as far as I can tell.
Well,
so what do you think they're going to do?
Fream.
Like, I think that's what's most confusing to me is like I don't get how they're going to, like, what are they going to change the dashboard again so that we see them more prominently displayed? Are they going to be part of your gamer card? I
mean, you can still see avatars on your Xbox Home, depending how the person has their profile set up. I
thought it was just the gamer pick thing now.
No, you like, I have my avatar. Well, I guess it's avatar picture, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It seemed that we had kind of moved past this sort of thing, but on the other hand, you can really, if they put a lot of effort into this, you can customize your online presence in a way that you wouldn't be able to do with a static picture, So, I don't know. Maybe this could be semi-cool. Maybe Avatar Awards could be something.
That was my favorite thing when they did was, like, you could, win stuff in games. Like, that was always super cool. I mean, it's nothing special, right? Like, I say super cool, like, oh man, this is the greatest thing. You got that Halo helmet. But like, it was you didn't need to do it. Actually, maybe you did need to do it. Wasn't it a mandate at one point?
I believe so. Yeah. When they first came out with it. Yeah. And I didn't do it often, but I spent money. My gamer picture is still of my avatar in a Star Trek uniform, which I had to spend $2 on when it first came out. So yeah,
real money Proulx.
It's I never did though, but up until that point, there's plenty of things that I was interested in. Could put a Spider-Man suit on my avatar, didn't care, all that sort of thing. But as soon as they put Star Trek uniforms on there, I was done. So they just need to find your one weakness, and you'll be like, oh, $2 is nothing, right? So. And of course, that's probably part of their motivation.
Yeah, I did. What was it? That Xbox Labs or whatever, when they were doing Connect, like trying to do the sound testing and all that crap to make sure that all worked. I had done that and got the scientist jacket and stuff. So my avatar is wearing the scientist robes, and I was like, "This is perfect because I'm a scientist. It's great. Like, it actually fits me pretty well." It's not wheelchairs and prosthetics like the new avatars are claiming to have, but
well, I think they're just showing
variety,
the advances in avatar technology at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like crazy about this or anything like that, but it could be something interesting, and it could be a good way to kind of personalize your online presence. So whatever, I'm cool with it if they make it fun and interesting and neat and
I think that's the key. is supporting it again.
I'm totally on board.
If you're going to do something, please stick to it. Not like Windows 10 support. And this has been delayed. I mean, this was supposed to come out a while ago, but like in 2017. So anyway, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to get something. What says later this month, April? Is that what we should expect?
I believe some of the Xbox team has come out and said that that's not true. It's probably, I imagine it's going to be an E3 thing, and then it's one of those things where they say, and now you can get your avatar on your dashboard right now, like that sort of thing. So I would wait till then. But yeah, no, don't expect it in April. I'm pretty sure they've come out pretty hard against the.
They
April
look
release
like
date,
I mean much better as far as like detail and the level of complexity. So I appreciate that. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. We'll see what what we can do with them, I guess. Fantastic. What else we got going on here? Oh yeah, EA Battlefront or Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh yes,
yeah, this is gonna be fun, right? They apparently you don't have to pay to win anymore. Do you buy that?
Well, I mean, obviously,
debacle.
Since the
that's like the perfect
debacle.
word for it.
Yeah,
Debacle.
that happened. Yeah, that happened late last year when they removed microtransactions entirely. And we always knew, because they actually didn't make any secret of it. They said, "Oh, we'll remove those microtransactions for now.
We'll temporarily suspend the terribly broken game that we made."
This is about the best way that they could have done it. They say, "Okay, no more pay-to-wins. This is just cosmetic stuff," which is kind of what gamers are okay with. Like, that's the line I think that people, everybody reasonably draws is, no, don't give this guy the ultra lightsaber super power upgrade to kill me if he spends the $5. You can give him the purple one, which does no different than the red one. That's fine. That doesn't bother anybody. If he wants to spend the money, that's up to him. But if he's going to win all the games because he spent the $5, it's a pretty reasonable standard.
To think that you'd be okay in saying, well, if you upgrade your ship with real money, it turns faster, shoots faster, has stronger guns, faster reloads. Like, get out of here with that nonsense. But I thought they were staunchly against cosmetic stuff because the canon, you got to preserve the sanctity of Star Wars. You can't possibly have cosmetic changes to Darth Vader, right? So what are these? Is that what these are?
Dancing,
or like you can jazz up your stormtrooper? Is that put some stickers on his helmet, bumper stickers?
Saying I never miss. Yeah, you probably could, but no, I don't know specifically what the upgrades are, but they've come out and said that these are only cosmetic upgrades. Yeah, I don't know why specifically. I don't. You could have a tie-dye.
I'm really curious. Sure. Or can you have like different colored lightsabers? Or I don't know. I don't know.
That would be the easiest cosmetic upgrade of all time, and probably one of the most lucrative because people really kind of care about that stuff.
I totally agree. The last thing I want to mention here is, am I reading this correctly that Microsoft is not actually going to be at E3? That they're actually going to be across the street in their own giant building?
This is weird,
because that's how I read it.
What does this mean?
Was you were not going to be at E3 because we rented out an entire building for all the fun and games and all the good stuff that you want to be a part of.
Are they pulling a Nintendo? Right? Because that's kind of Nintendo is sort of
at least they're in LA.
Well. I don't know.
I mean, this literally is across the street because they have their own theater.
Well, so it's. Yeah, it's so funny. Like Nintendo or
they just phone it in.
Rockstar or Yeah, all these big Steam, who just kind of avoid this sort of stuff. Maybe it's fine if Microsoft wants to have a big, gigantic event of all their own. Well, I mean, why would you put it in LA around E3? But anyways, maybe it'll be good. I'm not really sure what to make of this announcement. It just seems like a really crowded space to try to get into if you're not going to be an official part of the event.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm curious. I mean, it'll be nice to have the extra space. It'll be nice for them to be able to presumably do a lot more in terms of, showcasing things. I'm curious if, because like this Avatar talk and because of how much they're going to do with games. I mean, right? Like the focus is, it has to be games. They're not going to do anything new hardware or at least significant with hardware. So in terms of what they need to show, they probably want a lot of people to get hands-on with all that they have to offer. And, hopefully that means lots of play places, lots of, events, fan events, really trying to connect with their fan base. But if they pull outside of like the show proper, does that change their foot traffic? Does that change? I mean, is this a foot traffic type show? Is that important? I guess I don't know, what all the implications would be.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's a bold move. I'll say that to kind of try to stand out at this point, especially when, Microsoft is kind of looked at as, especially now that the Switch is doing tremendously well,
right.
Kind of last place at this point. But if they want to go out on their own and say, we're going to do our own thing, man, and they have stuff to back it up, they're going to show Crackdown 3, Randy. They're going to show whatever. Maybe they have a whole bunch of stuff that they're hiding. There's been teases from Microsoft that this is going to be a massive, big, gigantic E3. And if they're going to blow the roof off this place, if it's going to be like the backwards compatibility announcement times 5 or 10, cool, do it, man. Go for it. That's awesome. But I'm
really interested in what their approach is going to be this year, because there's a lot of talk, especially I'm to the point when I'm listening to my podcasts that they're discussing the Games Pass news, where all new games will be available on Games Pass and whatnot. And if it's an Xbox centric podcast, they're like, oh man, yeah, like greatest thing ever, so fantastic, what a win. And other ones that are maybe a little more PlayStation focused are total desperation, like good grace, that because they're so far behind Nintendo and PlayStation, what else are they going to do, and then they're being more cynical about, well, yeah, but what games do they have to offer as far as the exclusive, your first party games? Okay, you have 3 that we've known about for 2 years, and it's okay. That's a fair criticism. Fine, but it's still moving forward. That's not going to be the end of the games. There will be more first party games. So, could with this a big dramatic swing here really just wow the crowds? Now, I mean, the realist says it's not going to happen because no matter what they do, PlayStation fans are going to think it's stupid. But I'm pumped. I am really pumped, and I'm very, very curious about what we have to offer.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a really good E3 this year. It's possible. It's possible that they could hit it out of the park. They could come out and say, this is what we have, a new this, a new that, and something you didn't see coming, and this, and they could do it. But I certainly hope that they're not setting themselves up for failure. I would expect that they wouldn't be, but we'll see. As always, we'll see.
We will see. I only had one piece of feedback, and it comes from Marky B. Hoy. He starts it here. He says, "Hey, this week seems to be a lot of people having problems with achievements unlocking. Just wondering if you have any idea what went wrong, and if it affected any of us personally." You're familiar with all the chatter going on. I know Matriarch had some issues. Tominator said he had some issues. I got a comment here from Facial LaFleur saying, "It only affected me with one achievement that eventually showed up, but I have a friend that somehow lost nearly 200,000 gamer score that has not fixed itself." Oof. Elroy had some issues a couple weeks back. What's going on? Do you have any clue here? Because I am at a complete loss.
I mean, there was a dark time where I lost a good chunk of gamer score as well. I don't know. I really do hope Microsoft works diligently in the back end that we don't have to see this sort of stuff. It's obviously, as the people that are really focused on this, it's kind of where our main attention goes. But
yeah,
even then, it's a big part of the draw of what your system is selling. So maybe get that. And generally they're pretty good. So I don't feel, it feels kind of harsh to criticize them for it because 99% of the time it works well.
Yeah.
But it's the 1% that you always remember.
Sure.
You remember the one time, the weekend that you didn't have all your gamer score. So it's it's kind of a catch-22 for them, but it's like, come on.
Yeah, it's one thing when it's like it doesn't unlock. Like that's frustrating. But like I had one where it was 100% and I'm like, okay, like that's kind of a bummer, but I know it'll come out eventually. But when it's like taken away from you, I think that's like the worst.
Yep.
Like, man, are you kidding me? Like I had it where I was just here yesterday. Where'd it go? Yeah, I don't know about that. How are they doing that with like GTA SE and stuff?
So, man, that's a good question. And I don't specifically remember how it worked with mine, but I don't think it gets pulled off of TA.
Oh, because TA keeps a historical.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
So
yeah.
it doesn't disappear off of true achievements. So
yeah, if you've unlocked an achievement, you have kept that achievement unlocked. It doesn't repopulate your list.
Right.
That's right. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was trying to think how that works, but that would be the way to do it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I don't have really anything else to talk about tonight. That's about it there. Do you have anything else you need to get off your chest?
No, I think that works well for where we're at now. So
we're halfway through the month. What do you got planned for the rest of the month? I wish I could tell you. My spreadsheet's gone. I don't even know what I'm going to do.
I really, really, really want to get Lego Pirates done. Once that's over, I hope I get it done before Sea of Thieves because that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Sea of Thieves. I plan on jumping headfirst into Sea of Thieves. That's kind of going to be my game plan for the rest of the month at least.
Oh, can we pre-download that?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm actually going to buy a physical copy. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's available yet. I should check my Xbox app on my new computer.
There you go. I'm very, very excited about it. So that's kind of my next big thing. And I'm absolutely sure we're all going to be talking about it next week.
Yeah, I bet. That's a good point. As I know, I keep seeing it come up on my, hey, you've got an update, like update through Sea of Thieves. And it's like, I think it's because I'm in the alpha, like it's just or the beta, I guess now, that it keeps adding, it on there. Oh yeah, there it is. Coming soon, Sea of Thieves. Can I pre-download it? Pre-order? Where's my pre-download? I don't see it there. Oh well. Get my Games Pass fired up. Except it's on my other computer. Oh. So frustrating. I just can't believe it. Well, here's to having a better week and turning around next week. Life should get a little bit more, a little easier.
No nut shots.
I don't know. I don't have my script, so I don't know how to close out the show. I do want to thank everybody for listening, and I hope you enjoyed yourself because this has been fun. I'm great. Another 2-man show. Proulx, you've been like a hero being able to be on the show every week with Randy and I, in our blood feud.
Yeah, you guys really need to make up so I can take maybe a little time off. A weekend here or there would be nice, but no, of course. And well, Fream, you can tell people how they can get a hold of you if they need to.
One of the best ways to find me is using my gamer tag, which is Freamhole, FREAMWHOLE, because I use that for Twitter. I use that for Xbox. I use that on True Achievements. That's my Discord. And if you wanted to chat with me in Discord, you should head over to Z2Z's Discord, which is discord.io/Z2Z. Boy, we're a chatty group, which is great. I'm really excited about that. We got a lot of fun people in there, and you can also head over to our forums, forum.z2z.com, because we do run a lot of contests too. And I am not doing great on Rocker Dude for the gamer tag. I am sorely behind on unlocking enough achievements for that, but I have a list. It's just not on this computer. Oh my God, so frustrating. Sorry, I'm beating a dead horse, but that's what we do on this show. And then you can head over to our website, z2z.com. If you want to, this is where the show is. In theory, there's some show notes there, but you can download the stream. And if you do listen to the show and enjoy it, a rating or review is a great free way to support the show. If you want to support the show financially, we do have a Patreon. You go to patreon.com/Z2Z. That's all one word, ZEDTOZED. And then we do give away a game every month. So who did we give it to last month? I think that's on my other sheet too. See, I can't even keep my life straight here. I'm falling apart. Spreadsheets,
oh my
man.
God.
Spreadsheets.
It's okay.
That's what I need. How about you? Where can people track you down?
People can find me on the internet. Of course, you can find me on Xbox at Proulx, but you're not going to be able to spell that, so that's okay. You can find me on Twitter at 1UpDan. That's the number one, not the word. And you can find my gamer tag spelling there as well, also in the show notes as well. But I don't need to try to explain it to you here. And you can find me all over the place. So it's either Proulx or 1UpDan. One or the other will lead you to the same place. And hey, let's play some Sea of Thieves.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah, not just me and Fream and a lot of the community, but come join us because we're going to have a lot of fun. I really do think it's going to just be constant Sea of Thieves for the next few weeks. It's going to be a really good time.
Yeah, I can see it. And pirate jokes and pirate accents, not required, strongly suggested. So
yes,
with
absolutely.
that, I think that's about it. So hey, thank you so much for listening, everyone. On behalf of Proulx, this has been Brandon, and to all of you achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies out there, thank you so much for listening. Listen to the rest of our show where we have probably a review Zed of What the L. No contest, sorry guys, but we hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next episode.
Z2Z Podcast presents Review Zed.
All right, we're back for another exciting week of Review Zed. Woo! I think that's probably the most excited I've sounded in an intro for a while. So I got my lovely co-host, Planting42, with me.
Lovely.
I know. A little bit of updated GTAS news. Winners of 2017's contest will finally be getting their hoodies.
We never said it's something that happens immediately. I mean, because obviously it's a screen printing gig, and then we got to ship them halfway across the globe.
Well, yeah, and that really comes down to the amount of time, that I do. But I will say, Honey Swirl did help motivate a bunch of that to get out. Like, okay, now they're out of the box. Now you can go ship them. Like, oh, yeah. So the U.S. peoples are actually sitting in my car, which it is well, obviously, in the future, when you're listening to this, those have already been brought to the post office. It's just all these wonderful UK folk that get a wait on me doing customs declarations to do. Yeah. So,
is there anything liquid, fragile, or perishable?
I sure hope not. The hoodie, but you never know. And they're made in America. America. I think so. Actually, I should probably look at one of those hoodies. So when I declare,
it's like made in China. Oh no.
So yeah, I need to figure that out. So all right. So what do we got going for tonight? We have so other than that, I guess we don't have anything else for G-Task, do we?
Pretty much covers it. I think we've realized by now that trying to recap bonuses is pointless.
Yeah. So this week we got Spiral Splatter, which is published by Sometimes You, developed by Neon Chimp Games. This was released to Xbox One on March 13th with an Xbox Live store price of a whopping $4.99. Gotta love those. Gotta love those. On sale, it's probably going to go for $3. What do they give it for a genre? Puzzle.
I mean, yeah, it's a puzzle. It fits with that at least.
Yeah, though I don't really. Yeah, I guess it reminds me of a dexterity. Like it definitely is one of those dexterity type games for a tablet, but to play it with your controllers.
And that's where it loses me. I mean, some of the things they want you to do for 3 stars on those levels are insane. You've got to have the boost held down, and you've got to whip it around like you've got no care in the world that there's walls that smash you and splatter you. And oh, man.
Okay, so for anybody that hasn't played this game, that probably sounded like, what is he talking about? So you control a dot, and you basically have to go through, I wouldn't even say a maze, but you basically have to control the dot to the bullseye at the end of the whatever trail, and you don't hit the walls. And eventually, as you play later and later in the game, you have to hit triggers along the way to open up pathways to get to the end. But basically, get your ball to the end, don't hit the walls, or you die. Or in this case, splatter.
Yeah. Splattering is something you're going to do a lot, but there's achievements for it, so don't feel bad that you're going to be dying a lot. You'll get Gamerscore.
Yeah, you will get. Yeah, you'll get. There's the most you need is to splatter 500 times, and I haven't even gotten to stage 5 yet, and I've already got all the splatter achievements. So, not very hard to get the death achievements. Much harder to get the stars required to start unlocking them.
Agreed. I'm looking at the completion time. Some people have put this down as a 1 to 2 hour, and it seems to be the winning estimate by far. You guys are sadists. I don't know what else to say. I can't believe that you can manipulate your controllers in this manner this quickly. No.
It would be one thing if this was a play anywhere title, so you could be playing it on your PC and using your mouse, because if you had a mouse, it would be much easier. If you're using touch, this would be just simple. But alas, it is Xbox One enhanced, so I don't have an Xbox One, so I can't tell what the enhancements are. And you've played it on Xbox One X, and I'm sure you're sitting there going,
I'm actually curious now to try to figure out what the enhancements are for this game, because you're literally, it's a top down, you're looking at dots and lines. I have no idea.
Rendered background? I don't know.
There's not much in the background either.
Yeah, I mean, the game's solid, and this controls are very responsive. It's quick. When you die, you respawn right away. There's no real load times, but I mean, for how simplistic the game is, I really hope that you wouldn't have loading times and errors and all that, because it shouldn't be taxed.
Apparently, it's in 4K. We get 4K lines, no jaggies on them circles.
Yeah, that's always good. So I mean, for a puzzle game, it's not bad, and I mean, $5, it's it's priced right. It's priced
exactly. Yeah, it's definitely a good price for what it is. The fact that it's just a complete level immediately reloads when you splatter. I will strongly suggest, like, once you kind of get a feel for what you're doing, you get in the habit of hitting Y, which resets your time as well, because it is based on time, and splattering simply puts you back at the beginning without resetting your time.
Oh, it will reset your time if the level doesn't have a checkpoint, or if you haven't hit the first checkpoint.
Oh, okay. I guess that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because I've advanced to the point where.
But if you are going through somewhere that has a small gap and you keep splattering, every time you splatter, it leaves residue. So you do eventually want to sometimes maybe clear it out, because you can't tell where the gap is anymore because you've just splattered all over it. You can take that analogy wherever you want to, for listeners. I'm not doing it for you.
Probably a good thing.
Probably. Yeah, so I mean, overall wasn't a very, taxing game, but it's definitely, I don't know how, 1 to 2 hours. No, for 3-starring everything, I'm thinking that's going to take a little more time to play some of those levels. I mean, it's not going to be completely, it's not like a 40-hour game, but I'm thinking it's going to take you at least 5 hours.
Yeah.
If you're going to 3-star everything, unless you're just like amazing over this.
I mean, I guess it comes down to how quick you are at like twitchy things. If you're already used to that kind of manipulation on your controller, then good for you. However, if your controller has any drift in it whatsoever, you're not going to enjoy this game in the least.
Yeah, so, I mean, overall I'm just looking at, 106 people have completed the game, so, again, definitely doable, but, it's not the...
6. That's not bad.
Yeah, again, it's like playing it, it's definitely not undoable. It's just 1 to 2 hours. I'm like, that's... Unless there's something wrong with the tracking and it's just counting the same levels over and over again to 3-star to get everything, but I didn't notice that happening.
I didn't notice any tracking in the achievement trackers to begin with, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this is just one that you're going to have to go through and do all of them. But I mean, once you get the hang of the levels, it's not super easy, but it's not anything that I've come to see that is just, oh my God, I don't know how I'll ever get this done. It's just patience and, steady, calm hands.
Yeah. For those surgeons out there, this game is right up your alley.
All right. So, I think overall we both kind of give this one a pass for $5. It's not, don't expect the earth to move, but for $5, who does?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad little thing to spend some time on. It's nothing I would say, grind away for a couple hours. It's going to drive you insane. Get to the point where you start kind of getting stuck on a level and, try another 1 or 2. And if that's it, call it quits, come back to it later, because it's just designed for it's a quick pickup, quick put down.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for the listeners?
Should cover what we've got going now.
All right. Well, until next week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I guess back to the regular scheduled podcast. Peace.
What the L with the RTDL?
Hey, everybody. And welcome to What the L with the RTDL. I am Big L.
And I am Elroy.
Hi, Elroy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Pretty good, thank you.
Yeah. Pleasantries.
Oh, salutations. Wait, salutations hellos or goodbyes?
I think it's both.
That part wasn't in the script. What are you doing? Got sound effects back. Yay.
Yep. So,
You were in a hotel last week or something?
yeah, last week I was in Chattanooga. I was there.
Whoa. Oh,
chaperoning and
Nougat.
oh,
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, chaperoning a bunch of teenagers. So this week I am back in my boring life in Memphis, Tennessee. So
Yay.
I'm a little more. We're not recording at 1 o'clock in the morning this time, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still found a time to nap though. So.
So what have you been playing this week?
Well, there's a G-Task bonus. Oh, well, we won't for getting 100 achievements in a week. So I've been playing Turn On, or as Proulx calls it, Turn Off. But unfortunately, I haven't been doing too much RTDL stuff because I got a Raspberry Pi.
Oh goodness, are you talking about food again?
Oh no! I got it's a console and it's got like emulators and stuff on it. I've been playing, some of the old classics just for.
No, whoa! You weren't going to say what I think you were going to say, were you?
No, we can't say the F word, can we?
No.
Family show.
Well, personally, I hit a mini milestone today.
Easy for you to say.
Huh?
Easy for you to say.
You would think.
Or not.
So, yeah. Nigga. So, I hit 350,000. So
350,000 Neo Geo games played?
You're close. Give or take a few hundred. But, I hit 350,000. Gamerscore. Yep. So
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a long trod to 350 from 300.
We don't got no 350.
All right. Well,
350.
Last week you talked about National Nap Day, right?
That is correct.
Well, did you know that today, which is March 19th, that it's I figured you knew it was the 19th, but did you know that today is National Let's Laugh Day?
Let's Laugh Day? Mm-hmm. So should we change up the segment and drop the seriousness and have some fun?
Well, see, possibly. But the problem is that we record this and then it sits in a vault for a good few days, and then finally people get to hear it after it's moldy and old.
Are you saying we have a cheesy segment?
Yep. But, looking at the list of national holidays, however, it seems that Wednesday, which is when the big reveal is the 21st, and that is National Countdown Day.
What the hell is that?
I have no idea, but it is a thing.
And you think we should fit some random countdown into our segment?
Yep. That is exactly what I'm thinking.
What if we somehow merged the two together into something like a funny countdown?
Well, that's a big ask, but that was ask with a K.
Not asp.
But no, not with a P.
Oh.
I am,
That was last week.
I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone if you are. So, no serious talk about devaluation of games?
Or Elbert and Opera reviews?
How about some microwave safety tips? Those are out.
Or, I don't know, a Proulx moderated ACA game discussion?
Oh, man, I do remember that. Remember he came on our show and he just walked right into our segment and all over us?
Oh, much like his improvement joke that got treated about 12 weeks ago?
Ah, yes. Jokes! Countdown. Let's try it. This is your RTDL update. National Let's Laugh Countdown Edition.
Oh, yo, mama's so fat, the only letters in the alphabet she knows are KFC.
Whoa, L.
Wow.
You're doing this wrong. See, you have to work it into the countdown. That's kind of the point.
Yo, mama's still fat.
Number 10. So that was my countdown voice. Is could you tell the difference there?
Yes.
Yeah. Number 10 is Wizinyat, who only popped one Chivo this week, but is still on the list. Among his 15 Chivos this month is a Vancouver 2010 achievement of Speed. Speaking of which, El, I bet you know about Fast and Furious, right?
Right.
But Yo Mama So Fat, she's the star of a reality show, Fat and Furious.
Ah, good one. I see what you did there. You took his achievement and used it to call my mama fat. Got it.
And there's a countdown attached.
This is amazing.
Number 9 is Mark B.
Oh, I got this. Yo, mama is a bee.
Whoa. El, you're doing it wrong again, man. Mark B comes in with 13 achievements, many from the game Dirt 3 and Dirt 2. One of his dirty achievements from Dirt 3 is Shake and Bake, worth 191 points. Speaking of which, Yo Mama So Fat, every time she walks, she does the Harlem Shake.
Oh, yeah. Well, yo mama's so fat when she gets a cut, she bleeds milkshake.
Number 8 is Kingsman with 19 achievements, worth almost 3,000 points. Among his achievements are the You Don't Know Jack achievement of Jack Attack Dog. Speaking of not knowing things, Yo Mama's so fat and dumb she thinks she's in shape because a circle is a shape.
Oh, yeah. Well, yo mama's so dumb when she went to the movies and saw the under 17 not permitted sign, she left to get 16 of her friends.
Number 7 is Toad Style Venom, who cracks the 3,000 mark and also hasn't had a busy week, popping only one achievement worth 125 points in Trine 2.
Is it worth something in the game?
Okay, no, it's worth 125 points on the RTDL, but yeah, that was kind of misleading.
Ah, important correction.
Yep. So, Toad the Wet Venom got the achievement this week, and it is on his list next to Marvel Superhero Squad achievement of 5 for the price of 1.
Ooh, is that a sale? Wow, that is quite the bargain.
Well, you would know, because Yo Mama's so poor, her face is on the front of a food stamp.
But yeah, we did go through some tough years together, but my mama always did put food on the table. Thank you, my dear mother, for all you did. Is that celery again?
Number 6, Big L.
Me.
Who has done absolutely nothing this week on the RTDL. What the hell, man? Aren't you supposed to be an example to everyone or something? Well, had you earned anything this week, I would have said something about it and then somehow tied it to another achievement of yours that had popped. You know, say something like your Halo Wars Wall of Recognition achievement.
What about it?
Well, Yo Mama's so fat, I tried to hang a picture of her on my wall, and my wall fell over.
Whew. You let me off the hook easy there. I thought you were going to mention something about how I am violating the RTTL with having under 1,000 achievements. And then I was going to snitch on Kingsman, Skeptical Mario, and some guy named Cowboy Killa. Who? And what the El Pre-Show star, Fream.
Ooh, scandalous.
So sure, I didn't do anything this week. Sure, I am in the red, but we need to shame Fream like his name was Shamey Shamego or something.
You know, Fream actually got 4 pops on his list this week, right?
Moving on.
Number 5. Waka Key and Peel, who had the best week of anyone this week, popping 6 achievements on his list and flying up 8 spots on the leaderboard. Among those he popped this week is the Yesterday Origins achievement of Let There Be Light. Speaking of which, El, Yo Mama's so fat when God said let there be light, he asked her to get out of the way.
I am an atheist, so your religious condemnation does not bother me.
Number 4. Elroy. Love that guy. Elroy had a couple of pops this week, but not Galaga, of course. Elroy does have a couple of visual achievements, including a stick bold achievement of Blind Redemption and one from The Way for Blind Spot.
Let me guess. My mom is so ugly she makes blind children cry.
And she's fat. Like, really, really fat. Number 3. Rocker Dead. This reanimated corpse is the first on the list to hit the 20 mark and has 5 pops this week, including a Forza Horizon 3 achievement of Clever Girl.
Oh, boy.
Speaking of being clever, Yo Mama ain't. In fact, Yo Mama's so stupid she puts lipstick on her forehead to make up her mind.
Meh. She had her flaws.
Number 2. Fuggy McFugface, who tacked on 2 achievements this week and is now being keyfered by his Max Payne 3 achievement of Man of Many Weapons, where he has to unlock all of the weapons.
Oh, very clever. Seems like the achievement should be called Man of Every Weapon. It would be less misleading, and frankly, we could use more honesty with our achievements.
This seems to be an odd hill to die on.
Well, I mean, I'm just tired of all these achievements that are not what they say they are. You think it's one thing, and then nope, it's over. Back in Fug's day, like a long, long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they had achievements that meant something. Yeah, because he's old. They stated something. What did they state? An achievement. Clearly. Simply. None of this missing words garbage. It just makes me angry.
Are you sure this isn't just a distraction that you didn't get any achievements this week and plummeted in the standings?
I mean, who does Fream think he is, running around promoting the community with a bunch of red on his list? He can't even handle 1,000 achievements on his list. Pathetic. Curating at its worst. You like jokes this week? I got one for you.
Ooh.
What's the difference between all these curators, talking to you, Kingsman, talking to you, Cowboy Killer, whoever that is. I'm talking to you, Mario that is skeptical. What's the difference between all these curators and a bucket of feces?
Oh. What is it?
The bucket, man.
Thanks, man. So,
yeah.
Where were we?
You know that old guy, Fug?
Yes. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So he has lots of achievements on his list that he popped, including his Halo one for Piece of Cake.
Oh, here we go. Let me guess. My mama eats lots of cake.
Yep. And she got really fat. And then she walked by a TV and missed 3 episodes.
Joke's on you. She streams all her shows.
Did somebody say cake?
Oh.
Oh, yes. There will be cake.
Oh. Hi, Gretchen.
Number 1. NBA Kirkland, who also had a busy week, popping 4 achievements, and also sits keyfered by Game Party in Motion with Double Rackets Shutout, where he has to shut out his opponent in double rackets.
Makes me mad.
Oh, no. What does?
You know, man, I mean, just add some mystery to the achievement name. Don't make the achievement name the same thing as what the achievement is. Oh, wow, I got the achievement of, I don't know, walking 5,000 miles for walking 5,000 miles. How original. Why not call the achievement the Proclaimer? You know, show some effort. Makes me sick how these achievements are all straightforward.
Alrighty then. So, let's see. To wrap this up, Wanda's husband has a couple of aerial achievements, including his Forza Horizon 3 one for Fly Like a Regal, and his Rare Replay one for Believe a Boat Can Fly. Which reminds me, yes. Yo mama, she's so fat that she has to fly cargo class. And that's your RTDL update. National Let's Laugh Countdown Edition.
Now, Roy, you keep talking smack about my mom like that, there's going to be consequences.
Oh, tough guy. Like what are we talking here?
You know.
The cake is a lie.